Right, I'm just back from first test ride for the new Tutoro auto oiler. What time is it now? 5:30 in the evening. I've just done 120 miles. I've just literally got back, so if you hear some ticking, it's about cooling down, and I'm frozen. It's pitch black, obviously. Just been from Hull, or near Hull where I live, up the 1079 down to up to York. Went to a bike shop, had a look around a bike shop in York, and then down through Selby onto the M62, and then back to Hull on the M62 to sort of give it a test of a variety of roads. The last bit of the journey was just 25-30 minutes on the motorway, 70 miles an hour ish, maybe 15-20 mile an hour more in places. So initially I went out with the bike with the setting on approximately 1.5 turns out from closed, and I stopped in the first, on the way to York. I stopped 4 or 5 times just to check, and realised quite quickly that it was far too, the flow was far too much. It wasn't going everywhere, but didn't need to be that high, so I turned it down to from 1.5 to 1. Again, did another 20 miles. Obviously that's the splash caused when I had the setting slightly wrong. Then I ended up coming down all the way down to only half a turn out of closed. I measured the oil before I came out, and I've used approximately 7 or 8 millimeters of oil in 120 miles on the bike, which I think shows you it's probably going to last quite some time before it needs refilling. Certainly a full day's riding, probably 2 or 3 days riding, depending on if you do massive amounts of mileage. So there's a bit of the oil, the change for me, and sprockets are still pretty perfect. I could be doing it wrong, but that seems to me be about right. It's still damp to the touch. It's obviously a bit of muck on my finger, a bit of oil on my finger, so it's certainly not dry. But obviously, most of you will probably agree, I don't want oil splattered everywhere. I think most of that oil that was splattered on the swinging arm was caused when I was doing the setup. But there's bound to be a little bit of splash because of the oil that we're using. There's a little bit's gone on the back of the number plate, but not massive amounts. The oil, in my view, is still well lubricated, so quite successful. I checked last night, and there was, obviously while the bike was stationary, there's no dripping at all. I've been back about a quarter of an hour now, and the delivery tube is still in the correct place. There's no, I put a bit of tissue there just to see if there's any drippage, and in the quarter of an hour that I've been back, there's been no drips. So I think I've got it set. I've set it to half. I'm going to go down a little bit more, I think. As I say, it's still set spot on for me, so I'll try it a little bit less until I get the optimum. But for me, on my Honda VFR750, half a turn is more than ample. Half a turn from closed is more than ample for the flow rate. I tried to test it on some roads that varied in bumpiness, so I used some B roads to get to towards York, which were a bit bumpy, and then on the way back it was a motorway, some of which was extremely smooth, and it flowed very well, so no problems at all. I say it used about, it wasn't completely full when I set off, used about 7 or 8 millimeters of oil in 120 miles. Most of the time sat at sort of 60 miles an hour, and the last bit a little bit faster on the motorway on the way home. But so far so good. Bit more fine tuning just to see if I can take it any lower, but I would suspect that half a turn is going to be about right, perhaps 2/3 of a 10, depending on the weather and other factors, I suppose. But it's very cold tonight, or it feels it after being doing 120 miles in the dark. I'm cold. Right, I'll put this video online now and hope some of you benefit from it. I hope Tutoro benefit from it. Thank you.